Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Hello friends, welcome back. In earlier videos we learned about fractions, multiplication of fractions, division of fractions, multiplication of decimals. So in this video we'll be discussing about some questions, all the questions of exercise 2.5. So the first question which we have in exercise 2.5 is, the first question is which is greater? So we need to check, is that 0.5 or 0.05. So what did we do? How can we compare them? We'll be starting from the leftmost digit of decimal number, will be 00. They're exactly same. We don't have any other digit on the left hand side of the decimal. Now we'll be moving on to the right hand side of decimal. If I check, we have 5 over here and 0 over here. Of course 5 is greater than 0. It means 0.5 is greater than 0.05. This is how we compare the numbers, that which number is greater than what number. Now we have 0.7 or 0.5. To check the same way, we have 0 on the left side of the decimal point. So we're moving on to the right hand side. We know 7 is greater than 5. That means 0.7 is greater than 0.5. Moving on to the next part, it says 7 or 0.7. Now if I'll check, we can't see any decimals, so it means if it's only 7, we can say that it is 7.0. So if I'll check to the left side of decimal point, we have 0 here and 7 here. So ultimately, we got 7 which is greater than 0.7. Let's move on to another part. We can see that one is exactly same, it's 3 and it's 4. So we can say that this is greater. So 1.37 is less than 1.49, or 1.49 is greater than 1.37. Doing the same thing over here, we got same 2. Here it's 0, it's 3. So we can say that 2.03 is less than 2.30. Last but not the least, we can say the left side is exactly same, the right side is exactly same. But after that, we don't have any digit. And here we have 8 with us. So in these kind of questions, we can say that it is 0.80 and this is 0.88. So if I'll check the last digit over here, that will be 0.88, which is greater than 0.80. Moving on to the second question now. We need to express as rupees using decimals. Now we know that 1 rupee is equivalent to 100 paise, right? Then 1 paise will be equivalent to 1 upon 100 rupee. So how about 7 paise? If it's 7 paise, that means there will be 7 into 1 upon 100, which means 7 upon 100. Now once we go ahead with the decimal things and we can't see any decimal, that means the decimal is over here. Now if we have 100 or dividing by 100, what do? We'll shift it to the left side, 2 places to the left. So we'll be getting 0.07. Here we have 7 rupees plus 7 paisa. So we have 7 rupees and 7 paisa, we know it's 0.07, and we've discussed that how adding both of them up we'll be getting 7.07. Moving on to 77 rupees, 77 paisa. 77 rupees will be as it is. If I'm talking about 77 paisa, that will be 77 upon 100. Again, the decimal will be here only because we can't see any decimal. So moving on to 2 places to the left will be 0.77. Adding that up, we'll be getting 77.77. 50 paisa, 50 upon 100, that means 0.50. 235 paisa, so 235 upon 100, decimal is over here. So we will be shifting it 2 sides to the left. So 2.35 is the answer which we have. So these are all in rupees. So we can write it down over here. Right? Now next question is, we need to express 5 centimeter in 2 things, in meter and in kilometer. So we know if I'm talking about the relation between meters and centimeter, then 1 meter equals to 100 centimeter, which means 1 centimeter equals to 1 upon 100 meter. So what about 5 centimeter? 5 centimeter will be 5 upon 100, which is 0.05, as decimal will be here and we need to shift it to 2 places to the left. And if I'll talk about the relation between kilometers and centimeter, so 1 kilometer is equals to 1000 meter, and we know 1 meter equals to 100 centimeter. So 1 kilometer will be equals to 1000 into 100 centimeter, which will be 1 lakh centimeter. So it's 1 lakh centimeter, then 1 centimeter is equivalent to 1 upon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 centimeter. So now what will be 5 centimeter then? So for it will be 5 upon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Decimal is here, we'll be shifting to places. So 0 0.1, 2, 3, 4. 4 zeros and 5 with it, because we'll be shifting it 5 places to the left. 5 is already there, so we are left with only 4 places with it. Moving on to the next question, next part. Now we need to convert it to centimeter, meter and kilometer, though we know the relation. So if we are talking about relation between centimeter and millimeter is this. Now 35 millimeter will be 35 upon 10. Again decimal is here, shifting to one place to the left is 3.5 centimeter. Talking about the meters then. So if we have 1 meter equals to 100 centimeter, that means it will be 1000 millimeter. So 35 millimeter is equals to 35 upon 1000 meter. Again we have a decimal over here. We'll be shifting it to 1, 2, 3. So we are getting 0.035 meter. Now moving on to the third part, when converting it to kilometer, so we'll be getting 1 kilometer equals to 1000 meter. That means over here if I'll check, it is 1 lakh centimeter, multiplying it with 10 again because we have millimeters over here. We'll be getting 1 with 6 zeros with us. So 35 millimeter will be dividing it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which is 0.123456, because we will be decimal here 1, 2, we have 6 zeros in the denominator, so there will be 4 more places, so there will be 4 more zeros over here. So this is how we just do question 3. Moving on to question 4, it says that we need to convert it into kg, and we know that 1 kg equals to 1000 gram. We can say 1 gram equals to 1 upon 1000 kilogram. So how about 200 gram? That will be 200 upon 1000. Doing the same thing, we'll be getting 0.200 kg, or maybe you can write 0.2 kg. It's one and the same thing, because after decimal these zeros do not have that space for it. So again doing the same thing, dividing it by 1000, 1, 2, 3, so we'll be getting 3.47 kg. We have 4 kg, so kg is already there. We need to just convert 8 gram, which will be 8 upon 1000 kg. That will be 4 plus 0.008 kg. Adding them up, we'll be getting 4.008 kg. This is question 4 which we have. Now moving on to question 5. Write the following decimal numbers in expanded form. Since we discussed it in the earlier videos which we have, so we're starting up with 2 times 10 plus 0 times 1 plus 0 times 1 by 10 plus 3 times 1 by 100. We discussed that this is tens, this is 100, this is thousands and so on. So here 2 times 1 plus 0 times 1 by 10 plus 3 times 1 by 100. We talk about the next number. So 2 times 1 tens 100. So 2 times 100 plus 0 times 10 plus 0 times 1 plus 0 times 1 by 10 plus 3 times 1 by 100. Moving on to the last one. 2 times 1 plus 0 times 1 by 10 plus 3 times 1 by 100 plus 4 times 1 by 1000. Now moving on to question 6. It says that we need to write the place value of 2 in the following decimal numbers. We have 2.56. So what will be the place value over here? This is 1. That will be 2 times 1. That will be 2 ones, right? This is 10. So 2 times 10, which is 2 tens. Over here, it's on the right side of the decimal point. So this is 2 times 1 by 10. So we can call it 2 tenths. Moving on to here, we'll be getting 2 times 1 by 100. So that will be 2 hundreds. Moving on to the last part, which is 63.352. And this 2 will be 2 times 1000, 1 upon 1000. So 2 thousands. Moving on to the 7th question, it says that Dinesh went from place A to place B and from there to place C. A is 7.5 km from B and B is 12.7 km from C. So Ayub went from place A to D and from there to place C. D is 9.3 km from A and C is 11.8 km from D. Now who travelled more and by how much? So distance travelled by Dinesh is 7.5 plus 12.7 km, which is 20.2 km. We can add it like this. Now distance travelled by Ayub is 9.3 plus 11.8 kilometers. So we can write it down like this. That will be 21.1 kilometer. So distance travelled by Dinesh is 20.2 and by Ayub is 21.1. So who travelled more? Ayub travelled more. And by how much? By, we'll be subtracting both of them to know that how much is Ayub far off. So 2.1 minus 20.2 kilometer, which is, let's write it down over here, 20.2. We'll be subtracting it. Let me change the color. 2 cannot get subtracted by 1, so that will be 11, which will be 9. This will be 0. So we'll be getting only 0.9. That means by 0.9 kilometer, Ayub travelled more. Moving on to 8th question. Shama bought 5 kg 300 gram apples and 3 kg 250 gram banana mangoes. And Sarla bought 4 kg 800 gram oranges and 4 kg 150 gram bananas. Who bought more fruits? So if I'm talking about Shama, we'll be adding this up. So 5 kg plus 3 kg is 8 kg and 300 plus 250 is 550 grams. So we'll be adding kgs together and grams together. And if I'll talk about Sarla, that will be 4 kg plus 4 kg is 8 kg and 800 gram plus 150 gram is, you can write it down as well if you want to. If that is really suitable for you, you can add it down from here. So that will be 8 kg and 950 gram. Now who bought more fruits? We can simply say that these kgs is both 8 kgs. Now we need to go ahead with 550 grams and 950 grams. And we know that 950 grams are greater than 550 grams. Since we know that 950 grams are greater than 550 grams, so we can say that Sarla bought more fruits. We can write it down as well because 8 kg 950 gram is greater than 8 kg 550 gram. Now we will be moving on to the last question which we have of this exercise. How much less is 28 km than 42.6 km? In this question, we can understand and we can say that we need to subtract these two. So we'll be doing and solving out the difference. So 42.6 kilometer and 28 kilometer. If we can solve it out from here, it will be 6. We can say it as 12 and this is as 3. 3, 2 is 1. So we can say this is 14.6 kilometers.